Hello, welcome to
What's up?
episode 12 of the Poverty Franchise Podcast. Today we're going to be doing our final mock draft because the NBA draft is tomorrow with trades. We're also going to flip it. I'm doing odd picks. Ethan's doing evens. Last time I did evens. Ethan did odds. I'm Khalil.
I'm Ethan.
And yeah, that's pretty much what we have on tap. Part of this is good. Well, I mean, there's other things that happened in the NBA, of course, and I think a lot of those things that happened in the NBA will get discussed during the draft because those things are going to change the draft strategies, of course. So, Bradley Beal is going to get talked about. Kyrie's going to get talked about just in the context of the draft and how it changes the Wizards. And I don't even think the Nets have a pick, but the Wizards and maybe a trade the Nets do during said draft. But yeah, I think we should just get started because this is going to be long with all the trades and stuff involved and things like that. I'm at number one. And I still think that the number one pick is really between two guys to me. It's really either I don't think Paolo is the number one pick to me. I just think
Mhm.
it's Chet or Jabari, just because I'm intrigued with Chet's, size, his ability to handle the ball, and his shooting ability, and then Jabari's just shooting ability at his size as well. Paolo's also a great player. Like it's definitely a three-man race, and he's still in the three-man race. I just prefer the other two. I think I'm going to go with the consensus, even though it doesn't say this is a consensus. Jabari Smith going on to Orlando. I think he would fit well next to, oh wow, this is cool. This wasn't there last time.
Oh
Um,
wow.
yeah, I think he would fit well next to, Jonathan Isaac, all those guys they have on that roster, Wendell Carter Jr. And then they can't really go with a guard either. So Ivy's not in discussion. So it would have to be
Mhm.
one of the three. And out of the three, I think he's the best plug and play.
My turn. Okay, so the Thunder, I got them taking Chet Holmgren, guy who's versatile. He can shoot, defend, protect the rim. He's jumping with everyone. They're also the Thunder needs a big man, and Chet Holmgren fits that description right there. He
Mm,
can shoot, he can space the floor, as I said, and he's a rim protector. And I think he's better
definitely.
than. I'm taking him over Banchero
Yeah.
because Banchero just he's a negative defensive player.
Yeah.
And the Thunder need a defensive presence in the paint, which is Chet Holmgren. Although he lacks the frame,
That can be
he
built upon
yeah, that
easily.
can be built upon, and
That
he
can easily
still
be built upon.
performs at an elite level of shot blocking.
Right. I think even outside of Chet or the defensive thing for Banquero, it's more of the like I feel like there's a lot more that Chet can turn into or Jabari could turn
Like
into. I feel like there's more potential there.
it's pretty much the draft of the higher ceiling.
Right. And I think Chet and Jabari both have a higher ceiling than Paolo. I think Paolo
Mhm.
has a high floor though. I think Paolo's
Oh
the
yeah,
most NBA ready guy here. So
sure.
he might end up winning rookie of the year and then it's gonna make it look like these takes were bad. But I feel like at one
Long
and two,
term, I
you kind
think
of draft
yeah.
for potential a bit too. Okay. Houston at three. Of course, Paolo's here, and he's consensus to go to Houston pretty much. And I'm still not the hugest fan of him and Sengun together in like the front court defensively, but I think he is still the third best guy in the draft, and at that point, you kind of just have to take him. Ivy would be interesting too. Jalen Green, Jaden Ivy backcourt would be kind of cool, but I think Boncaro is just Boncaro is just that guy, I guess. You know, I don't really love everything about him, but that's not to say he's a bad player. I'm trying to find my notes on him right now.
Hey, is
Um,
Christian? Hey, why is Christian Wood still on the
oh,
Rockets?
the trades
They
on
didn't
this
update
aren't
it.
they didn't update it. Yeah, he's
Okay,
a
okay,
math.
okay.
What's it called though? Boncaro, Julius Randle player comp. He's comfortable scoring at all three levels. He can score the basketball like really no other. He has an NBA level body. He's definitely built to be in the NBA at this point. Good touch
Mhm.
around the rim, great footwork, good physicality and creativity around the rim. He can dribble the ball pretty well for his size, and he can shoot from three with his feet set. The jumper is still a little questionable from the 3-point line. And then, of course, not the best athlete, but with the scoring ability, I don't think you need to be the most amazing athlete. So I would go Boncaro at three. Number
Okay.
four, we have the Kings, Sacramento,
The
Sacktown.
Kings. Okay, so I don't know. Just see them taking best available, Jaden Ivey, and he pretty much has that floor. He's getting hyped up around because that
Mm,
job Morant player comp, and he's such an electric player and a finisher. I think he's gonna complement De'Aaron Fox because they're both extremely fast, and if they somehow generate those fast breaks, they can get them some wins, but they are
Mm.
also missing a lot of pieces just because they're the Kings. And yeah, I
Now
like Jaden
here's where we have an interesting proposal, right?
Ivey.
Because as I said earlier, we're doing trades.
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't even see he was on the board. Okay, never mind. I was gonna say Pistons trade for the King or trade to the Kings because as it says, they need a power forward, right? So you do
yeah.
like Jeremy Grant and 5 for 4, so the
Mhm.
Pistons can get
Yeah,
Jaden Ivey,
I
but there's
wouldn't be
Shaden
surprised.
Sharp there, so there's
Nah,
no
so okay, so here's the thing. I wouldn't be surprised if the Kings just trade back because they don't need this pick.
right. They
Like
didn't
they don't need
expect
to
to
pick
get
up
it.
Ivy.
They need to
Yeah,
get someone who can help them win now because they just
yeah.
traded for
They just traded for Sabonis.
Sabonis. They're not really looking
Yeah.
to rebuild.
So if anything, I wouldn't, or I would actually accept that trade with the Pistons to trade back.
You think so?
Yeah, I would.
Well, then I'm offering it now. So
Okay.
we're gonna go to the trade machine, and this is how we're gonna do it here. We got who are the teams involved? Pistons and Sacramento.
Pistons in Sacramento.
So we're looking at, and I think there might have. I don't know if the money will work out. We'll have to find a way. You might have to give me a contract back to make it work.
Mhm.
But essentially, it'd be like Jeremy Grant to fill up that power forward hole for the Kings. Kings are gonna give me back number 4.
Mhm.
Of course, it's unprotected because we already know where the pick is. Then we trade you guys number 5. And I think that is legal. Might have to add in a bad contract to make it work. Let's see. Oh, the Kings don't have the cap space to do it. Okay,
Hmm.
let's adjust the trade. 20 million from the cap value? Oh, so I don't even think they
Oh
have the
my
money.
God.
Do you guys have a contract big enough to trade? It would have to be like Jeremy Lamb, I guess.
Hmm.
Jeremy Lamb to the Pistons, and then we'll can't do Davion, so we'll do
DiVincenzo?
not Dimage. That would be too much money. It would have to be like
Uh,
Mo. Let's do Terrence Davis because he's just younger, so we'll trade him to the Pistons. Right, that should be legal. Where's the button? No, here it is. There we go.
cool.
The Kings improved by 0 wins. The Pistons improved by 0 wins. But that's our first trade. Jeremy Lamb, Terrence Davis, and number 4 for number 5. I just did this because I think the Pistons would be. I mean, the Pistons are clearly
Beneficial.
looking to shop Jeremy Grant. The
Mhm.
Kings need a power forward, so that fills in one hole in their starting lineup, and then they move down one spot. So if they still want to get a guard or a wing to pair up with, what they have now, they're still going to get that. So I think it's fair for both sides. Let's trade it, here. This is a very interesting process. 4 for 5 trade picks. And how we're doing it is since I was the Pistons, since I'm odds, I'm now on the board since I just made this trade. And of course, the reason we made this trade was to get Jaden Ivey to team up with Cade Cunningham. Jaden Ivey is probably my favorite prospect in the draft, as for all the things you said. Very intriguing, very exciting, elite athlete,
He has like a minute long video of him like elite finishes around the rim.
right. Like deadly shooter when he has enough space. He can get to the lane, strong in the pick and roll. And then you have another bigger shooting guard who can, or not shooting guard, but bigger guard who can pair with Cade Cunningham, who's like 6'6", 6'7", got size around you. And I think it would be a very fun backcourt to watch. And you got rid of Jeremy Grant, who they've been trying to get rid of this whole time.
So I don't know what you just said though about Jaden Ivey. He improved his shooting percentage from his freshman year from 3 by 10%, 25.8 to 35.2,
Oh,
I
wow.
think.
I didn't even
Yeah.
remember that. Literally, my one fit would be, or my 2 team fits, because I did team fits for certain players, was the Pistons. It was the Pistons and the Hornets. So,
Yeah.
Hey, I'm happy with this. And now you're back on the clock with the Kings just one pick later. Where do you go here? Now you got to keep into account you have Jeremy Grant.
Jeremy Grant. Okay. So at this point, probably Keegan Murray.
Keegan? So you would
take the best available. Yeah.
Okay. So I imagine you play like Jeremy at the 3, or how would this work?
Probably play Jeremy at 3-ish. Well, yeah, because wait, is Harrison Barton their actual 3 right now?
Yeah,
He's like
Harrison
their
Barnes is their
3-4.
three,
Yeah,
3-4. So then you would have
yeah.
Jeremy Grant,
So
who would be a
Jeremy
3-4.
Grant.
Keegan Murray would be
Yeah,
a 3-4, and then Sabonis would be a four
mhm,
five. You would have no. I
yeah,
mean, I guess Davion Mitchell.
yeah. I don't know. I'm stuck between Keegan and Benedict.
Mm, I
Yeah,
think it's close. It's close.
because
I
like
think if you trade
it
for Jeremy
depends what they
Grant,
want.
if you trade for Jeremy Grant, there's no sense in you. And this is just
Drafting a
me.
power forward. Yeah.
Okay, can I exit? Can I exit, please? No, 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 no.
Ooh.
I don't want to take him. Okay, we're good.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. So I don't know. They can go multiple ways with this because actually, yeah, they can get Shaden Sharp if anything because I
upside
don't
is
know.
there.
Yeah, upsides there. There isn't much film to judge him off of though. That's the downside. But the vertical, get it? Vertical
Yeah,
upside.
yeah,
It's literally there, and it depends what they want. If they want that score next to De'Aaron, then yeah, Shaden. But if they want that 3 and D, Benedict Mathurin, who can also score.
right. And finish too. He's got
Mhm.
a he can get his head above
He's
the rim too. So
mhm.
it's really just a matter of which they
It depends
prefer.
what they want. Personally, since I'm really high on this guy,
Benedict.
taking Benedict.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot more sense than Keegan Murray.
Yeah,
I just think like if you do trade for what's it called,
a power forward.
Jeremy
You wouldn't
Grant,
want to draft one.
and it's not even that it's a power forward. It's just like he can't really play the three if you already have Harrison Barnes. Like
Hmm.
the position, he would have to come off the bench most likely.
Yeah.
Okay, so Benedict Mathurin to Sacramento. This is already pretty different from our last mock.
Because last time I had Benedict like going 9, I think.
Yeah, I think he went to the Cavs or something.
Yeah.
But eating an apple, gosh day, in shape. But yeah, Indiana. Oh wait, this is actually your pick because you have back to backs.
Oh, wow. Okay.
You're at Indiana.
At this point, we're taking the upside. Shaden Sharp. He's a mystery in the
Mm,
draft. We don't know much about him. The bro got bunnies.
yeah, no, definitely has money. It just sucks that he didn't play in college. You know, I
Mhm.
would have loved to, get to see some more actual film on bro. But unfortunately, we didn't get that, and that's probably the biggest weakness I have for him. But
Mhm.
just the
It's
athleticism is
just
there,
a mystery player with a clear upside.
right? Athleticism is there. He's clearly a hard worker and competitor. That's what I've heard from like interview or like opinions on him through interviews, and the fact that he went from being unranked to the number one ranked prospect in a year shows he's willing to put in the work because that can't all be talent.
Yeah.
He's improving as a shooter and things like that. I think he does have upside, and I'd be okay with taking him at really four. And starting at 4, I think there's a case.
Mhm.
Starting at 4, I think there's a case. But I like this fit. I like this fit a lot.
Yeah, this draft is already changing a lot from our previous one. Because
Okay.
last time Shaden Sharp fell.
Yeah. Okay. We have me at the clock, or me on the clock, right? I'm the Portland Trailblazers, right?
Mhm.
We have 7. Our situation is trying to win with Dame, trying to do all we can to win with Dame, trying to build a team around him. So I propose to you, because you're evens, right?
Mhm.
I propose to you a trade with Oklahoma City
Mhm.
to get 7. And all I would really want is 12 and Dort, just because Dort would, be a solid role player
Dort.
to play with, Dame.
Wow. Mhm.
But I mean, it's just like, I don't know if this trade still even happens because the people who Oklahoma City would be interested in trading up for aren't here. Unless you
Yeah.
trade up for Keegan Murray. And I don't think they would do
I
that.
don't
But
think
it's
they
up
want
it's up
him.
to you if you feel like there's a player up here who you would be willing to trade up for. Nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah, I think this
Yeah.
trade only happens if Shaden Sharp or Jaden Ivey is available at 7. I
Yeah.
don't blame you for that. So in that case, I think we gotta take Keegan Murray.
I mean, I guess there's a case for AJ Griffin.
But I think he would be there at 12 most likely.
Yeah,
or
he would
closer
still
to
be
12.
there.
You wouldn't have to
Yeah.
trade up all the way to 7 to get him.
Yeah, I see a few people going before him though.
Keegan Murray, 5th ranked prospect, get him at 7. I like this guy. I mean, he's clearly up there with those guys. I mean, look at the stats: 24 points a game, 9 rebounds. He's got the skill. He's kind of not the best defender. but as a pick and pop, pick and roll threat, just role player who would be very solid to play on a good team or a team that's looking to be good, I definitely would want, Keegan Murray on my team. Plus, the
Mhm.
potential is still there. People act like just because he's older, he's 22. Yeah, that's still really like young. He still has a
Yeah,
lot of years to grow. 22 is still really young. It's just not,
it's not
19 or 20.
ideal. It's not
Right.
like a Jason Tatum, 19 out of college.
Right. Like he's still younger,
Mhm.
but he's just on the older end of younger, but he's still young. So don't over or underestimate how much time he has to grow. Number 8.
Number
Back
8,
to
my
you,
pick.
New Orleans.
Okay, they need a point guard.
They do.
This guy didn't go until late last time. Give me Dyson Daniels.
I like this pick. This is my best fit for Dyson. I'm not gonna lie. I would love
It's his
Dyson in
best
New
situation
Orleans.
that he can go to.
I
Yeah,
would love Dyson in New Orleans.
bro, he can throw lobs to Zion, assuming he's healthy and comes back next season. He can set up or play make for CJ and Brandon Ingram. This
Right.
pretty much
They
secures
don't
them
need
as a
him to
playoff team.
score. They legit
Yeah,
do not need him to score. He's just going, you know, create. And then of
create
course they're
and
gonna want
play
him to take
defense.
some shots.
Yeah,
Because you gotta take some shots, but they're not gonna look at him and be like, okay, you gotta turn into this
he doesn't have to get
scorer.
a bucket.
Right.
He
There's
can just
other
play
guys
make for
there,
everyone. Yeah.
and the size is there. They're building a very big, like lanky lineup.
Hmm.
Herb Jones, Brandon Ingram, Zion, Dyson. Even though Zion's small for his position, he's still big
Big.
relative to other NBA players.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and then the defense is
Yeah.
there. Active hands needs to improve as a 3-point shooter, but
I
that's
don't
probably the
even think
biggest
he
gripe.
needs to do that.
Yeah, his jumper looks good. I just think it
Yeah.
doesn't fall.
It's
Like
just it'll be nice if he's like gets more consistent. That's
yeah,
all.
maybe he hits him a little more. But sometimes players just
Yeah.
have bad shooting years. Maybe he had a
Mhm,
bad shooting year in the G League. But I do like this fit a lot. I think this is a very, very good pick.
mhm.
Dyson Daniels to New Orleans. Number 9, San Antonio. Okay. Geez, they have severe needs for everything. I didn't think it was that bad. Like I feel like they're
Why do
pretty
they have a severe need for a point guard? They have DeJounte.
I guess yeah, no, that's weird. I don't know. I don't know how they decide this, but I guess
I mean, yeah,
DeJounte's
I
not good enough.
guess.
Okay, so we are sitting at 9, and I think at 9, where do I want to go? I'm between two guys. I'm between Duran and Davis.
Hmm.
I think you go with Davis, though, Johnny Davis to San Antonio. You get
Okay.
another guard who's willing to play defense and will buy into that San Antonio Spurs, system.
Hmm.
Play next to DeJounte, likes to play in the mid range. I just think he would fit. He seems like a very Spurs-esque player. I don't know if that's
Hmm.
just if that's a
That makes
reach,
sense.
but I feel like he's a very Spurs-esque player.
I can see that.
He's mid-range scorer. He's comfortable going to the rim. He's a little smaller, but 6'5" still isn't that small. But definitely the thing that makes me feel like San Antonio is a good spot for him is the fact that he's willing to play defense now, and the Spurs are gonna, develop him
This-
to, really. They're gonna show him how to be a winner. Essentially, they teach players how to win, how to play well, how to find their spot in the league. I think they're gonna do a good job of developing him and making him look good. And then the thing with Jalen Duren is I love Duren, and I think he's really got like really good potential. I just think with all the rumors of the DeAndre Ayton to San Antonio thing,
Mhm.
or like someone like Mark Williams still being there, maybe in the with their next pick, because I'm pretty sure they have 2 more first round picks. I would go with the guard who's got this level of potential, who's not going to be there at another pick. But yeah, that's
Okay.
my reason for Johnny Davis.
I can see
at
that.
9.
I also that's a good pick because it alleviates some stress off of DeJounte, and that
Right.
helps him in the long run.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is an interesting pick because Bradley Beal
Beal's he opted
not
out of his
on
player
the
option.
team. Or
Yeah.
he could still sign back with the Wizards, but if you opt out, I would imagine you're not going.
You don't
back
want to
your
sign.
original team.
Yeah. He probably wants to win now.
So
At this point, we need to draft a Bradley Beal replacement, and I would have traded up, but they don't have the assets to trade up.
yeah, there would have
And
been no team that. I mean, maybe Blazers. But then
then
again, the
at the
guard.
Blazers pick, they didn't have anything to pick up.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you trade I mean, we can't do it now because it's in the past, but I guess
Yeah.
Kuzma and KCP to Portland because they're both really solid
Mhm.
role players. But like, yeah, I see what you mean. There's not really anything too enticing. I don't think
Yeah.
KCP or Kuzma is the value of Dort just because of how great of a perimeter defender Dort is.
Mhm.
So
I'd
it's,
take Dort over
yeah.
KCP or Kuzma because he's just a better defender.
And then you got to assume like both offers are on the table. And if the
Mhm.
Blazers had Dort or KCP and Kuz, I think they're taking Dort
They're taking Dort,
personally.
yeah.
But yeah, you're
But at this pick,
here,
taking AJ Griffin.
AJ Griffin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Scorer. Need to
Yeah.
get that replacement.
Plus, I think with Beal gone and the team having no direction, he'll have a chance to kind of like just hoop and show what he can
Mhm.
do. There won't be
Yeah.
any pressure for him to like play next to Beal and try and build this winning team. They're not going to be
Mhm.
good this year, or next year. So they might as well just, get this
Play for
guy
the
who has some
future.
potential.
Mhm.
They have a nice little young core of guys. I mean, although we said Kuzma and KCP don't really have the value of Blue Dort, that's not to say they're bad. Kuzma had a very good season last year, breakout season pretty much.
Mhm.
So you can't be mad at that at all.
Yeah, for sure.
Can't be mad at that at all. The potential is definitely there.
Knicks.
Okay, so we got the Knicks. They need a center. They probably don't want to, pay Mitchell Robinson what he's going to get. So why don't you get someone who plays a similar style a little bit in Jalen Duren? Jalen Duren is a prospect who I think has top 7 upside. I really think he could be
Mhm.
very, very good. He reminds me of like Robert Williams almost.
Yeah.
The actual player comps I had for him were Andre Drummond and Dwight Howard. More so Dwight Howard than Andre Drummond. But the physical tools. 6'10", 250, bro. Like at 19, he's got the physical tools. Good to great rim protector. He plays vertical. He has a good vertical. Sees the court really well. Makes the right passes. Typically, he's not no Jokic, but makes the right read, the smart pass.
He's a
Lob
great
threat, of
post
course.
playmaker.
Yeah, he's not a good post scorer, but when it comes to passing out of the post, he can do that for sure.
Yeah.
And then he's shown the ability to not shoot the ball, but he's shown touch around the mid range area. So
Mhm.
maybe that's something we can see develop
Like
4 or 5 years from now. But
around the paint, like
right,
15, 10 feet.
he has touch. He has touch. And then he is also one of the youngest players in the draft. And you have a guy you can build around with RJ and the guys they have now. I think it's just a
It
great
fits
fit
them.
for them.
Yeah, for sure.
So we're gonna go Jalen Duren.
Thunder. Okay.
So they took Chet at 2, or you took Chet at 2.
I'll take Chet at 2. I think this is where they emphasize on the defense. Jeremy Sohan,
Okay.
the 4.
Sohan.
So what he's been doing recently is like I've been doing some more research on him.
Mhm.
Bro is a defensive demon.
Oh yeah,
Like
best defender in the class.
Yeah,
Perimeter and paint
sure.
defense, like
yeah.
combined. That's it.
I think this will help the Thunder because one, they already have Dort,
Right.
and they have Shea, he does play defense,
Mhm.
and they pretty much can generate more offense from the defense, which is what I'm
Right.
trying to build them with. Also drafting Chet,
Mhm.
and if Chet like gets beat or something like on a step, Sohan can be there and step up for it. They're both big,
Mhm.
like 6'10", 7 foot.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But yeah, he doesn't have to score, but he can.
It's a
You know,
solid,
obviously,
and he
follows.
probably wouldn't start either. He'd probably be on the
Yeah.
second unit.
Mhm.
So I mean, like Sohan is also really interesting to me as a Thunder fan, and I'm not gonna like convince you to change your pick. I personally like Tari Eason a little more than Sohan. But that's just because
Yeah.
I think the offensive upside in combination with maybe like half or like 60% of Sohan's defense
Mhm.
is a little interesting to me. But I get Sohan too because he reminds me a bit of Draymond Green if he
Yeah.
hits his like peak. And every team, although he gets slandered a lot, every team would want a Draymond,
Draymond Green.
who
Yeah.
can play that level of defense and play make like he can. So I'm
Oh, I
not mad at
appreciate
this
defense.
pick at all.
I'm kidding.
I am not mad at this pick at all. I think it's a great pick. Charlotte at 13, so their situation, Miles Bridges might be out.
Miles Bridges might be gone.
Montrezl Harrell is dealing with some off the court stuff. But really the thing is help LaMelo out. And they do have 2 pretty much back-to-back picks. Cavs are splitting their back-to-back, but two near back-to-back picks. I'm gonna go Tari Eason,
Okay.
LSU.
Yeah.
For a lot of the things you said with dang, brain fart, with Sohan, I think
Sohan.
Tari Eason is there as well. The finishing is
Mhm.
also really interesting to me. And I think, say Miles Bridges leaves, Tari Eason could slide into that 3-4 and be pretty solid. You know, he definitely has things he needs to improve on: consistency, staying under control, not doing too much with the ball in his hands, making the right passes. I think he's pretty decent at it, but just, of course, there's things to improve. And he's not a perfect prospect. I'm just a big fan of what's there and how much he's grown from his freshman year at Georgia. I'm pretty sure is the school, but very, I'm very intrigued by Tari Eason.
Mhm.
He does need to find a way to stay on the court because he is foul prone, and if you're fouling a bunch, you can't play a bunch. So that's something you definitely need to work on. But I'm just very intrigued with who he is as a prospect.
I like
Cleveland.
that.
We haven't had any trades, but it's just like
Yeah.
I don't
I
think
mean,
this.
we've had some in the beginning, and then
I don't know who would
Yeah.
be the next team to trade up unless.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I gotta see the.
Hmm. You know. Hmm. Yeah, I don't really know where I want to go with this.
I think there's one guy who I would personally go with because I just think he's very win now esque. So I would just take him.
Give me Ochai.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, Cavs were pretty much
Yeah.
in the playoffs last year almost. These jerseys are not it. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
I don't know who designed those, but those are not it. Yeah, I think that pick makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
They were pretty much in the playoffs last year. Get a guy
Mhm.
who's, you know, older, but
3-and-D.
win now. Oh my god, that was very loud. You know,
I'm sorry.
get a guy who's ready to win now. You know, just slide in at the 3-2,
Yeah.
hit threes, play defense. Think it's smart.
It was Colin Sexton injured last year?
Yeah, he was, and there's a lot of
Okay.
talks on if he's gonna come back or not. But yeah, he was hurt
Mhm.
last year.
Yeah.
Charlotte Hornets again. So we went Tari Easton 13. They clearly need a center. Obviously, if Montrezl Harrell's not there, and they already needed a center. However, I think. Oh, I didn't even think about this as a possibility. Okay, what pick do the Jazz have? Are you the Jazz?
Oh.
Oh, the Jazz don't have a first. Okay, Jazz don't have a first. So how would this work? If the Jazz don't have a pick, do I just do the trade just for the
Mm,
interest, just to make it interesting? I guess
go to the trade finder or go to the trade machine.
it would have to be future picks. It would definitely have to be
Yeah.
future assets.
See what they would have to give up for Gobert.
Oh, you already knew what I was thinking. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So essentially, you know, this is a Utah Charlotte trade, and the thing with Utah, they haven't been able to win anything in the playoffs with this core of Gobert and Donovan Mitchell. So it's time to, try and make some sort of move. Let me make sure there's a player. Okay, see, the only thing that scares me is there's not really a player on the board that I feel like the Jazz would be like, okay, let's trade
We want
Rudy
him.
Gobert
Yeah.
for blank.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. So I'm looking at my board, trying to see if there's a guy. Yeah, no, nah. I was very interesting idea, just
It's a
not
good
in this mock
idea.
draft.
Yeah.
No one fell to Utah where it'd be like, let's do this. However, there's a way to do this. There's a way to do this. So obviously Rudy goes to Charlotte. They need a
Mhm.
center, and he's going to be better than whatever center they actually get. Gordon Hayward goes back to Utah to make the money work. So they got to give up a bad contract to get a big contract like this. Then for Utah, they might not get. Oh, whoa. We're not going to sign James Harden. That's a bit much. However, where are the Jazz's picks? the Jazz only have 8 picks. The Hornets have 13. The Hornets might not be able to, give up, or the Jazz might not be able to get the best player, with 15.
hmm
But a future first would be interesting, I think, to them just to get up their draft capital. So I can see the Jazz doing the 15th pick. It may be a 2024, we'll say top 8 protected.
Okay.
So I think a deal where we see, Gobert 15, a pick in 2024 for Gordon Hayward. You're not getting an amazing player back. Gordon Hayward's still good. He gets to go back to Utah, but you're getting 2 future firsts. I think they still have their own actual first next year.
They don't have
So
a
even
future.
they
Next
have a
year,
first
yeah.
next year. So even if they're bad next year, they get a good pick, and
Mhm.
then they have a nice little new core. I think this makes a lot of sense for both sides. So I think I'm going to pull it just to
Yeah.
also make the draft more interesting. Let's make sure the money works out. It does work out. The Jazz go down a projected 9 wins. The Hornets would go up a projected 9 wins. So it'd be a 9-win switch. But I just think this is a pretty good package. Of course, I think the Bulls package would be better
Mhm.
at 18. But I also don't think once we get to 18,
No one's gonna be there.
the 18th pick wouldn't be valuable enough. I think 15 is
Yeah.
where you're at your like limit to get a
Mhm.
player that'd be somewhat valuable at this spot. So we're gonna do this trade, which is 15 to Utah. We'll just give it to them. I don't think we can.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You can't.
do
Yeah.
futures, but Utah is now on the clock. They don't have Rudy Gobert. He's not there, so ignore his face. I think first things first, you probably want to get a center because
Mark,
Mark Williams is obviously to me
you
the
need to
best
get a
player
replacement. Yeah.
available at the moment. So I think you go with Mark Williams. He doesn't have the what's it called, the athletic upside of someone like Jalen Duren, but he definitely is a solid center. Good rebounder, a lob threat, good in the pick and roll, plays vertical on defense. And he's, in comparison to Rudy Gobert, he's much more capable to switch up onto the perimeter. He's not
Mhm.
amazing at it, but he's definitely more capable. So I think this is an interesting, move for the Utah Jazz. So I have them taking Mark Williams at 15. You have Atlanta at 16. They're in a situation where they're trying to ship John Collins, it seems like.
Yeah. Okay. If they're trying to ship him, Ty. Yeah.
Ty is your pick.
Ty.
Okay, I can see that. Get someone who can play aside, Trey, I guess.
Actually, wait, no. I take that back.
Okay, I don't.
Yeah, I take that back because they drafted what's his name last year, Zaire. Wait, no, not Zaire.
Sharif
Damn.
Cooper.
Sharif. Yeah, they drafted Sharif last year. Bro's in the G League. Bro's just
Yeah.
chilling on the bench next to Lou Williams. There's no point
Yeah.
in them drafting another point guard. Yeah. What was I thinking? Oh my god. It's horrible.
I thought this was LeBron. Oh my god. I was like, wait, why is he on the team? Did we miss the news? Yeah. I don't know
Oh
where
my
they
god.
would go. Like,
I don't know.
this is also a pick that I feel like could be traded. I mean, they said they wanted
It
to
really
trade
can.
up, but I don't. There were other teams that would have offered something I think a little more interesting. Yeah, I don't know what they would do here. They need to improve the defense, but the
Bushman
defensive
Yang?
guys, just for the upside, I can see
Just
it.
for the upside? Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that makes a bit more sense to me than Ty.
Yeah.
He definitely has the upside, but I just don't like being in this spot at all.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm trying to find my notes on Dieng.
It's such a weird spot. He's a shooter.
Yeah,
Bro
he can
loves
shoot
that
the ball,
pull up mid range from the wing.
and then of course there's the upside.
Yeah.
Needs to build the strength, can handle the ball, can score off the dribble, capable playmaker.
It alleviates some pressure off Trey. So that's
Right.
something.
Hopefully, if he can, actually play and get to NBA speed. But I
Yeah.
believe in him. I think they'll be able to develop him to be something.
Mhm.
Houston at 17 with Paolo Banchero and their guys. what do they do here? Now we're getting to this interesting tier of the draft where it's kind of like you gotta know what you want to do a little bit. I think I'm gonna go with Jovic, another back-to-back foreign players, just because of the upside. The upside is
Mhm.
definitely there. So Nikola Jovic to the Rockets, and I mean at this point they don't need to get another long-term building piece. They could take a shot in the dark. And last time they did it with last year they did it with Sengun as a foreign prospect. I think they could do it this year with Jovic. These jerseys
Mhm.
are also disgusting. But
They're not bad. It's just they're wearing shirts.
the too many colors, like
Yeah.
the shorts and the shirt should be the same color, but otherwise,
Hmm.
not the worst thing in the world. But yeah, I just think they could take a shot in the dark with Jovic. You know,
Hmm.
they don't really need to go get a starting player because they already have a bunch of guys they drafted last year. Like Josh Christopher could step into the starting lineup, Kevin Porter Jr. You know, of course they're gonna have Boncaro and Jalen Green, Sengun. Uh, they just
Now
have
that I think
guys.
about it, bro, Kevin Porter Jr. is a poor man's James Harden.
He is
Bro,
a poor man's James Harden with anger issues.
yes, no, but let me elaborate. So basically, what had happened was they love to do that tween, step back,
Tween
three,
step back
and they're
three.
both lefties.
Yeah,
So yeah,
identical people, same person. They're the exact same person, except Kevin Porter Jr. has severe anger issues.
Mhm.
So we're gonna go Jovic to Houston, and now we got the Bulls
Dang.
at 18. They have a severe need for everything. Jesus. Uh,
Jeez.
Clearly, like I mean, the main thing that would have
Mhm.
probably happened for the Bulls that would have been like noteworthy or a big deal would probably be a Gobert trade. But
Mhm.
since Gobert is now a Hornet in this universe, they can't really do a Gobert trade. So yeah.
Man, I don't really know who to trade for now. Oh my god,
Wait, do the Pacers have?
who to draft?
Because I would offer you a trade right now if they have another trade. Did I pick for Indiana last time? No, you picked for Indiana.
I
Okay,
did.
I was gonna make
Yeah.
a trade in the perspective of Indiana, but
What direction do you go with this?
I personally think you trade for Miles Turner. I think
Yeah.
that'd be really interesting. Um, yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking, a Miles Turner
Mhm.
trade. Uh,
Because there's no prospects that makes sense for them to draft.
I mean, I like EJ Liddell to Chicago. I think it's either we try and find a Miles Turner to the Bulls trade,
Mhm.
or you draft EJ Liddell. I think those are the only two things that really make any sort of sense here.
Let's do
But
the
then
trade.
again, okay, we can do the trade.
Yeah, let's
I
do
was
the
gonna say,
trade.
even if you want to try and what's it called? Oh, failed? Consecutive draft years 23. I ain't sure. Clearly the trade works, bro. Obviously it worked. Reset. So we're looking at Indiana
Indiana and Chicago.
and Chicago. I don't know how the money would work.
Yeah.
Oh, they're both
Vucevic
gonna
is on
eat
a
it.
relatively bad deal.
So we're looking at Miles Turner to the Bulls for
Floor
18
spacer,
mil.
vertical, defender,
They definitely need a center anyway. So
lob threat.
then the Bulls would probably have to trade like
Vucevic.
it have to be Vuce. It wouldn't make sense to have Turner
Yeah.
and Vucevic anyway. So trade Vucevic to Indiana, and then the Bulls would trade what 18.
18. What else? Do you think they'd have to give up something else or no?
Probably they would probably have to give up a young player, and I don't
Hmm.
think they clearly don't want to give up any of their young guys. They want to give
Yeah.
up AO. They
They
don't
have
want to
to
give
keep
up.
AO.
They have to keep AO. They clearly have said multiple times they don't want to give up Patrick Williams. And then
Hmm.
who did the Pacers draft in our sim? Kobe or Shaden Sharp?
Shaden Sharp.
So they don't even want a guard. The only person they would really want is Patrick Williams, and the Bulls
Bulls
clearly
don't
do
want to
not
give
want to
up.
trade Patrick Williams.
Yeah.
So let's see if I mean, financially, I think this trade works. Yeah, financially, this trade works, and it actually worsens the Bulls. Don't know how,
Hmm.
but you know,
Maybe it's
think,
because of injury. 'Cause
yeah,
Miles Turner. Yeah.
but maybe, maybe the Pacers or the Bulls, and I know this is your pick. Maybe the Bulls go Liddell, right?
Yeah.
And then maybe try another big because they clearly don't want to give up Patrick Williams, and they would have to give up Patrick Williams for this to make sense. In this
Yeah.
universe where Shaden Sharp is a Pacer. Plus, they already have Tyrese and Chris Duarte, so it's kind of like Bulls are kind of screwed to make a big move for a big name
Mhm.
center. So, what you thinking?
Yeah. Just draft EJ.
EJ Liddell. I think he's
Yeah.
like they just need a four who can
Yeah.
stretch the floor, play some defense. Reminds me a bit of Jay Crowder, but definitely the Miles Turner thing was close. It's just they're if it was me, I would trade Patrick Williams for
Miles Turner.
right, but that's just me. But
Yeah.
you know, they have said they don't want to do it, so it would be weird for us to just do it, even though they don't want to.
They don't want to do it. Yeah. Because that's just
Okay.
unrealistic.
So Minnesota, very good team. They're trying to compete next year. I would imagine they're trying to improve. I don't think any of these guys, now that EJ Liddell is gone, I don't think any of these guys really help them compete too much. So maybe there's a trade, another trade, and I think this could be a big deal trade. So let's look clearly. Timberwolves, D'Lo did not perform last time they were in the playoffs, and I think there's a universe where we have a big time trade, and I'm going to make this a surprise. So you don't know where I'm going with this. But of course, we have Minnesota, who was a 7 seed. And then we have biggest trade of the draft, Brooklyn.
Brooklyn.
Right. This is a Kyrie Irving trade to Minnesota. Okay.
Oh.
So I think at this point, of course, there's a way Kyrie still goes back if he buys into the lower contract, but it seems like he doesn't want to go back at
He
this
doesn't
point.
want to go back.
So the Nets trade Kyrie for D'Lo, who was already in Brooklyn at one point.
Mm-hmm.
So they get D'Lo. Then they would have to get, a pick from Minnesota. They will want the current pick that they have. So give them a pick at 19, right? And then they would probably have to give up a future first next year. I mean, if you have Kyrie, Cat, Ant, Pat Bev, those guys all still together, I think you're comfortable giving them a top.
You're comfortable giving up some of your future.
You're comfortable giving up a lottery protected pick, or not a lottery protected pick, unprotected pick. Because I think at this point, if you're
going
bad,
to win games.
right? If you're bad at this point, it don't even matter. Like you didn't deserve to do the trade anyway. So we're gonna do unprotected. So it's Kyrie and a couple picks for D'Lo. Nets get a guard who's definitely not Kyrie Irving, but he'll be able to fit in and hopefully do something. He's already been in Brooklyn, as I said. You get a pick here who will add some more depth to the team, get you some more youth, things like that, and then you get a pick next year. So you're kind of getting back, some of your future that you lost trading for Harden and KD and things like that.
Oh, they also have Ben.
Yeah, and they have Ben, so they would be fine. So I think. Oh, let me make sure the trade works. I didn't even do that. The trade works. The Nets somehow get one more win, and the Timberwolves lose a win. Okay, so yeah, of course, this only works if Kyrie accepts his player option and would be okay with playing in Minnesota. And that's kind of far away on its own. That's kind of like a bit of a reach. I don't think he wants to play in Minnesota. However, let's make this mock draft fun. So Kyrie is going to Minnesota for D'Lo and 2 picks. So now Brooklyn's sitting at 19. They're going to trade 19 to Brooklyn.
The Nets.
Just 19, can't do that. So Brooklyn's sitting here. They don't got Kyrie. They kind of just need bigs who can perform for him a little bit, wings, things like that. I'll be looking at my big board, see who I'm interested in. Let's see. Yes, I'm between a few guys. Where's his scouting report for me? Hmm. You know what? I know they already have a good amount of guards. Joe Harris, Patty Mills, things like that. Get Malachi Branham. You know, he's just really solid. I trust him to, make the right play. He plays good defense. He's an efficient 3-point shooter, has a good first step, good touch around the rim, good strength, solid defender, as I said. Only two things that aren't amazing about him is he's an average shot creator and he's got poor shot selection. But when you're playing with Kevin Durant,
It doesn't matter.
you're not taking those shots, bro. So you can just, you can
He's
you
not
can,
getting those shots in the
yeah,
first place. So it
you
doesn't
can
matter.
play a role. So I would probably go with him. You're at 20 with San Antonio. And they took Johnny Davis at 9 in hopes that a big would be there at 25. And there's no big.
There's no big. Oh no. Oh man.
Who are the centers available? Best centers available. Kessler by a bit. And then there's like Koloko, but he's not even a first round graded guy.
We're gonna reach for Christian Koloko.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
They
we're
just need a
reaching.
big. They need a big. So I mean, like,
Yeah, they need.
so
I know there's better options available, but personally, I'm taking him.
yeah, they just need a center.
Yeah.
It's not even like the deepest pick. They need a center. Of course,
He's shown flashes in college of what he can do. And
yeah, and then DeAndre Ayton is an option for
this
them.
is assuming they don't get DeAndre Ayton.
Right. So, it's just a nice little pick. Can't go wrong with it. Denver Nuggets,
May I add to you, they've been working out with Marjan Beauchamp.
well then that's great because that's who I'm taking. No, I'm kidding. I think at this point you kind of got to go with Ty Washington.
Yeah.
Ooh, or Jaden Hardy. Okay, this is close.
Oh. How are they on the board?
Yeah, both of them. Jaden Hardy definitely has a much more upside because he was projected to be a top 5 pick at the beginning of the year. Now he's lower, and obviously this. The Nuggets need a bench. They can't do anything on the bench.
Their bench is so bad.
So obviously, whoever you guys take is probably coming off the bench as maybe like a 6-man role. And I think I would pick Jaden Hardy's upside because he could turn into a starter. So I would go with Hardy at 19. Natural scorer. He knows how to score the basketball. That's what he does. Thing is, he thinks he's so good at scoring the basketball that he takes a lot of bad shots. So that's kind of something that, he's going to have to learn to limit his shot selection, playing for the team, not for himself necessarily.
I mean,
not to say
he's
he's
going to be
selfish.
he's going to be on the same team as Michael Porter Jr. and Jamal Murray. So
and
he'll be fine.
He's not going to take crazy shots, but he's got the handle. He can create shots for himself off the dribble, can shoot from long range. Like he's got a torch on him. And then he's comfortable pulling up off the dribble.
There's no such thing as a bad shot with Jokic though, because
he's gonna get good looks from the people around him.
Yeah.
So Hardy to Denver. Oh my God, the Grizzlies. What do they even need? Just take whoever you think is best player available. Like,
shoot. I guess Ty.
Yeah, at this point, like he just fell. It's kind of like best player
might
available.
As well.
They don't need anyone. They really don't need anyone. Take Ty. Solid.
Bench piece, I guess.
Yeah, just solid.
Sixers.
Philly. Oh, backup point guard is a interesting position of need right there. Not gonna lie, because Grant Riller. I mean, of course, Harden can play point. Shake can, I guess, as well. But I'm interested in like small forward. Let me make sure this guy's as good as I remember him being when I was looking at him. Kendall Moore, Kendall Moore. Kendall Brown, not Kendall Moore. Yeah, yeah. Kendall Brown to Philly. You know, he stats don't pop up off the stat sheet or at all. 10 points, 5 boards, and 2 assists aren't crazy impressive, but the Sixers are good as is, and they don't really need the most help. The only thing they really need is depth. And Kendall Brown is the definition of a solid depth player. He's athletic, so the upside as a cutter and a slasher is there. You know, he cuts off ball. A lot of people like Harden don't really do anything off ball, even though they're good at finishing at the rim. He cuts off ball. He has a good motor, which is something you like to see from a young player. Of course, he's 19, so that's something to build around. Versatile defender, can guard 1 through 4 comfortably. So it'll add some defensive versatility. He sees the court pretty well. He's great in transition because of his vertical ability and his ability to dunk over people, crazy finishes, things like that. And he's unselfish. So I think he'll be happy with playing in Philly, just being a solid player on that team. Only issue is he's not the best 3-point shooter, but even if you're not the best 3-point shooter, you can't be reluctant to take open threes. And sometimes he can be a bit reluctant to take open threes. So I would like to see him improve at that. And then he just needs to learn when and when not to be aggressive. And he'll learn that from playing a certain role on the Sixers. So I would go Kendall Brown in Philadelphia.
Okay.
Milwaukee.
What's their position of need?
Huh?
What's their position of need?
I guess Giannis at shooting guard isn't great, but I don't know why he's a shooting guard.
He's him.
Position of need. Okay. I didn't have it up there. I guess
okay.
point guard, shooting guard, and center. But I don't think they really need any of those positions. At this point, I think they're another team that just drafts best available because they don't really have needs.
This is a reach. I'm gonna go with Kennedy Chandler.
Oh,
I know they have a point. Yeah, I know they have a point guard in Drew. They can also they can use Kennedy Chandler as a playmaker on their team.
Right.
Play like that Chris Paul role, Lob City.
Doesn't even have to really play. I mean, I guess he would be a backup point guard.
Yeah, he doesn't have to do much.
Yeah, it's just, and he has the upside. The upside is definitely there for him. So you would go.
All he'll have to do is just lead that bench. Well, not even lead that bench unit because
they have guys on the bench.
You already have people on the bench. Yeah.
He would just have to be a member of the bench unit. So Kennedy Chandler to Milwaukee. San Antonio at 25. They have another pick. My God. They went Johnny Davis and Koloko. They filled up shooting guard and center. So power forward, I guess, and point guard are their biggest needs. And even then, I don't really think they need those positions. So what do I want to do here? Let me check his scouting reports. Let's find him. I think I know who I'm going to go with. I think I'm going to go MarJon Beauchamp, but I'm not too sure yet. All right, where's bro's attack? Here it is. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm comfortable going with him. It's either him or Blake Wesley, and I think I would go with him. So yeah, I'm gonna go with MarJon, another G League guy. Good point of attack defender, extremely athletic, which he uses to finish at the rim. Unafraid of contact. He's a strong on-ball defender, and he's shown flashes of being able to score with the ball. He just struggles as an off-ball defender. He can't really shoot threes that well. He needs to improve his handle. Plays too wildly on offense, and he's too focused on scoring on offense. But again, you go into San Antonio, they're not going to let you just focus on scoring. They're going to make you learn how to be a good defender. So I think he'll be fine there. 26 is Houston. Again, they're another team with 3 draft picks.
So many picks. Need Blake Wesley, I guess. Actually, no. Because they have John Wall. Oh my God.
Well, I don't think they play John Wall.
Oh.
Yeah, he doesn't play. He's just
just getting paid?
Yeah.
Okay. That's tough. Bro, he's really living life.
Yeah, just to chill out.
Yeah. Blake Wesley, I guess.
It's like at this point in the draft, the picks you're making,
They aren't even gonna play.
right? Oh, and this is the Christian Wood pick, or the pick they got in the Christian Wood trade. So Blake Wesley, Miami. So who's someone who just plays defense? That's who they're gonna take. Like that's the guy they want. Christian Braun, college shooter, plays defense, blah blah blah. Yeah, he seems very Miami Heat-esque. Christian Braun. Look at him, bro. You can't tell me. Oh my God, his jumper looks
Shooter,
nasty.
shooter, shooter,
His
shooter,
jumper looks
shooter.
nasty.
He looks like Al Horford.
Yeah, that's a very weird jumper to have
Yeah.
as a 6'6" guard. But yeah, he's solid defense, solid shooting. He plays team first. He keeps the ball moving and he gives effort on both sides of the ball. If that's not Heat culture, then I don't know what is. They're going Christian Braun, another white shooting guard / small forward.
He's gonna get overpaid. Watch.
Yup. Now you got Golden State at 28. They just won the chip. What do they need?
I don't know.
Like, there's no.
There's nothing that they need. Like,
You could really take anyone, and it's just like this guy's not even gonna play, but he has upside, and he'll be fun in the G League. So
Jalen Williams to the G League.
Jalen Williams,
That's it. Just send him to the G League.
you know, I don't. This guy must have been a recent riser because he wasn't on the big board maybe
Yeah,
3 weeks ago.
I've never heard of this guy. Until
Yeah,
now.
I've heard a little bit about him. I actually heard something about him earlier. 3-and-D prospect, you know, that who's like just now learning about his 3-and-D capabilities. I'll search up a little, you know, scouting report on him just so we can have
Something to say.
an idea about who he is. He's a wing. You know, you can never have too many 2-3 guys, dudes who can play the wing position. 7'2" wingspan. So that's great.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Catch and shoot. Extremely repeatable and efficient shooting form. He can punish defenders that go under ball screens. You know, good passer. Yeah, it makes actually a lot of sense. He's a 3-and-D kind of guy who has some potential as a playmaker. You know, so yeah, I think this actually makes a lot of sense now that I'm reading up on him. Grizzlies go Ty Washington. They're gonna go with Walker Kessler. Why? I don't know. Because they don't need anything. But he's interesting. He's tall. You know, best shot blocker in the nation. I think he averaged 4 blocks a game.
Oh wow.
So he's definitely something to, you know, look at maybe. And yeah, I don't think there's a really big reason as to why you take him. I just think it's like you don't need anything. Take a shot on this guy who might be something special. And now you got Denver, last pick of the first round. They drafted Jaden Hardy. Oh, this is the pick you guys traded from us.
Oh.
For JaMychal Green.
Okay. This is where the Nuggets just go with. Wendell Moore, because we feel like it.
It's like, yeah, Wendell. Come on.
Yeah.
No real reason. Just join the team.
That's it.
This looks way different from our other one.
Looks way better.
You think so?
Yeah.
Better in what way though? Like better as in
I don't know. It looks more cleaner.
Yeah. I think if this happened in real life, this would be extremely exciting. This would be crazy. Specifically the Gobert and the Kyrie trade. So essentially, let's just go.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go pick by pick. Some things stayed the same. Top 3 stayed the exact same. Jabari won. I'm pretty sure Jabari got taken 1 last time.
No, I went Chet.
Okay, so yeah, never mind. So that switched.
Yeah.
So Jabari 1, Chet 2, Paolo 3, Hardy or Ivy 4 in a trade with the Kings for Jeremy Grant to move up 1 pick to get Ivy. The Kings take Benedict Mathurin at 5, Pacers get Sharp. Blazers get Murray. Pelicans get Dyson Daniels. Spurs get Johnny Davis. Wizards AJ Griffin. Knicks Jalen Duren. Hornets Tari Eason. Thunder Jeremy Sohan. Ochai Agbaji to Cavs. Mark Williams to the Jazz in the Rudy Gobert trade. You know, then Ousmane Dieng to the Hawks. Jovic to the Rockets. Liddell to the Bulls. Malachi Branham to the Nets in a Kyrie Irving to Minnesota trade. Christian Koloko to the Spurs. Jaden Hardy to the Nuggets. Ty Washington Jr. to the Grizzlies. Kendall Brown to the Sixers. Kennedy Chandler to the Bucks. Marjon Bootcamp to the Spurs. Blake Wesley to the Rockets. Christian Braun to the Heat. Jalen Williams to the Warriors. Walker Kessler to the Grizzlies. Wendell Moore to the Nuggets.
I like this.
Yeah, I think this is I wouldn't say it's realistic. Like, I don't think Kyrie is going to Minnesota, and I don't think Rudy's getting traded to Charlotte on draft night. But if this happened, this would be super exciting.
Insane.
Super duper exciting, you know. Yeah, I think this is a very interesting mock draft. More so than a realistic mock draft. But
yeah,
tomorrow's draft night, if you had to guess, who do you think is going 1?
Chet.
You think Chet's going to go 1? I think Jabari.
I still think Chet's going 1. It's either Chet or Jabari.
Yeah, I don't think
Paolo's going 3.
Yeah, I don't think Paolo's going 1. Yeah. Yeah. Who do you think is the sleeper, your biggest sleeper of the draft? Who's a guy who you're like could turn out really, really good, who's not really that?
Koloko
for you.
That's why I drafted him.
I'm going Eason. I really think he's going to be good. I just think he's got a lot of, upside, and I think he's very overlooked. I think he's just as good as, okay, yeah, maybe not just as good, but he has the potential to be just as good as these guys. But yeah, I think he's definitely better than AJ Griffin is like right now. But AJ Griffin has the potential. But yeah, I like this mock draft a bit more than the other one, just because of the trades. The trades had a whole other aspect to it. We saw a total of 3 trades.
Gobert, Kyrie,
and then
Kings, Pistons.
Yeah, 3 trades. Yeah, I think this is an interesting, possibility. We almost saw a couple more trades. We almost saw a Bulls trade. We almost saw a Thunder Portland trade, but there was nothing there. But yeah, there's just a lot of things that can happen tomorrow. I'm really interested to see how things go, especially as a Thunder fan. So we have 2 top 15 picks. Kind of.
Do you think someone who's like not even on our board? Yeah, someone who's not on our board who's going to get drafted like early, like not early, but like mid-20s, or early 20s.
I mean, neither of us watch college basketball. We're bound to be pretty off on this. Like, watch Kennedy Chandler get taken 10 or something. Like, I'm gonna keep this up on my computer just so as the draft is happening, I can see how off we are. Like, I don't think this is gonna age well. So, but I'm not mad at it. Neither of us watch college basketball, so I'm not like, I should have got this right. But nah, I think there's a lot of picks that actually make sense considering we don't watch college basketball. Like the Kendall Brown thing, I think makes a lot of sense. The Ivy, Benedict Mathurin picks both make sense, and the trade itself makes sense.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty happy. The Dyson Daniels pick I'm cool with. So yeah, I'm happy with it. But I think this is a good spot to, wrap up. So that concludes episode 12 of the Poverty Franchise Podcast. It is only 12:30. Crazy. We never recorded this early. But yeah, if you guys made it this far, thank you. We'll be back on Saturday.
Wednesday. No, Saturdays. Oh my God, today's Wednesday.
We'll be back Saturday, and we'll probably be talking draft stuff again, and then hopefully something huge happens. Maybe a trade. Yeah. Maybe one of these trades happen. I mean, hopefully not the 4 for 5 thing, because that's not that big of a deal. But Rudy Gobert to Charlotte, maybe that'd be cool to talk about. So yeah, that concludes episode 12. We'll be back on Saturday, and see you then. Thank you if you've made it this far.
Monkeys.